Thunder rolls, faint crackle of lanterns swinging in the wind. They say pirates live for gold, for chests overflowing with jewels, for mountains of silver coins buried in the sand. But the truth is never that simple. Greed was their compass, yes, but survival was their cruelest master. One wrong storm, one blade in the night, one whisper betrayal, and even the richest man could be reduced to bones on the seabed. A wave slam against a wooden hull. Tonight, we sail backward in time, to an age where legends were carved not in stone but in blood and salt water. The age when a man could leave his home a hungry peasant, and return, if he returned at all, as either a king of the seas or nothing more than a ghost. But here lies the question that gnaws at every sailor's heart, the very hook of pirate myth: did these men truly grow rich from treasure? Or is the tale of buried chests nothing but a cruel illusion? The first lie begins with the Spanish galleons. Picture it, armadas groaning under the weight of silver ripped from Peruvian mines, of emeralds cut from Colombian rivers, of gold bars stamped with the mark of the crown. A single ship could carry enough fortune to buy kingdoms. And yes, pirates struck them, sometimes brilliantly. But here is the secret: most of those treasures never reached pirate hands. They sank, burning in storms, swallowed by reefs, or shattered by cannon fire before greedy fingers could even touch them. Some say the sea itself was the greediest pirate of all, hoarding the wealth of empires in its black depth. Lantern flickers, silence sharpened, story drifts from 1715. The Spanish treasure fleet, 11 mighty galleons, heavy with silver and gold, sailed from Havana and never arrived in Spain. A hurricane tore through them like a beast through flesh. Wreck after wreck scattered across the Florida coast. Hundreds of sailors drowned screaming. Chests of treasure washed ashore, and the survivors, desperate, starving, were hunted by privateers and local scavengers before they could reclaim a single coin. So tell me, is that wealth? Or is that tragedy wrapped in gold? One old account recalls a pirate named Henry Jennings. When word spread of the wrecked fleet, Jennings and his crew descended like vultures. They stole what they could from the wrecked divers: silver bars, coins, pieces of eight still wet with seawater. It was enough to make Jennings rich, yes, but the fortune came not from buried chests but from scavenging the dead. And therein lies the darker truth. For most pirates, gold was not glittering treasure, it was blood-soaked salvage pried from corpses and wreckage. Yet the world remembers a different tale. We imagine an island, a secret cave, a chest sealed with iron, buried beneath an X in the sand. A pirate laughing as he hides his loot, promising to return. But pause, ask yourself, what kind of man, living on borrowed time, hunted by empires, and loyal to no one, would bury the very thing he killed for? No, pirates spent their wealth as fast as it came: wine, women, cards, weapons. A pirate's fortune burned like a candle, short and blinding, leaving nothing but smoke. Wood Creek's heartbeat fades in the distance, and here is the cruel hook. Many of the most infamous pirates died penniless. Blackbeard, who struck terror across the Carolinas, left behind nothing but his severed head nailed to a ship's bow. Charles Vane, fierce and unyielding, was hanged like a common thief. Calico Jack, Rackham, who sailed with Anne Bonny and Mary Read, met the rope with not a coin to his name. If treasure was their destiny, why did so many end dangling empty-handed from the gallows? Some sailors whispered a chilling answer. They said the real treasure was never gold, it was freedom itself, the only thing a man could never buy, yet the only thing worth dying for. Still doubts remain. For every whisper of freedom there is another tale of cursed hoards. Chests that sank only to lure divers centuries later. Jewels that carried death to all who owned them. Coins, blackened with age, traded hand to hand like relics of the damned. And now we circle back to the question again: did pirates ever truly grow rich? Or was the legend itself, the very myth of endless treasure, the greatest con of all? Storm begins to rise, wind howls, a mast cracks, but stay close. Because this tale is only just beginning. Ahead, we will dive into stories of betrayal, obsession, and cursed gold that consumed men whole. Men who dared to believe they had found true riches, only to learn too late that the sea always collects her debts. As the sea roars louder, a low drumbeat begins beneath the waves. Every pirate swore he wanted treasure, but treasure had a way of twisting men's souls until they no longer knew if they hunted gold, or if the gold hunted them. Consider William Kidd, Captain Kidd, as the legends call him. To some, he was a privateer, hired by kings to chase down outlaws. To others, he was nothing but a pirate in disguise. When Kidd seized the Quidai merchant, a ship heavy with silk, satins, sugar, and yes, gold, he thought he had secured glory. But whispers of betrayal followed faster than the wind. Accused of piracy, he fled across oceans, clutching his ill-gotten prize. Here's where myth and history blur. Some swore Kidd buried his fortune along the American coast. Others claimed it was hidden in the Caribbean sands. Even today, fortune hunters dig feverishly, chasing shadows. But Kidd himself, he was hanged in chains, his body left rotting by the Thames as a warning. So tell me, who truly claimed his treasure? Kidd, the crown, or the earth itself swallowing secrets whole? A lantern light dims, a crow caws in the distance. Another tale drifts in from Nassau, the pirate republic. Here, gold was not just wealth, it was poison. Friendships broke over dice games. Knives flashed over a single coin, and alliances, sworn in rum-soaked taverns, shattered at the first glint of silver. One night, a sailor recalled, a captain and his quartermaster nearly killed each other over dividing a chest. By dawn, only the blood remained. The gold had vanished. Some say the crew stole it, others whispered it was cursed, that the coins themselves demanded blood. The ocean loves ironies, for while most pirates died poor, the few who tasted true fortune often met the cruelest ends. Take Olivier Levasseur, the buzzard. Before his capture, he boasted of a treasure so vast it could fill ships. At his execution, he flung a necklace into the crowd, shouting, "Find my treasure." Yea, who can understand this? It was said to be a cryptogram, a puzzle leading to unimaginable riches. Men have hunted it for centuries, yet the treasure remains lost, mocking every seeker, as though Lavoisier's ghost still guards it with ladder. Her thunder cracks, silence follows. Here lies the paradox of piracy. They killed for treasure, but treasure killed them in return. The sea gave and the sea devoured, with no loyalty to the living. Still, people believe. Stories of buried chests persist, whispered across generations. Children trace maps with trembling fingers. Divers plunge into wrecks, risking their lungs and their lives for a handful of corroded coins. Why? Because the myth is stronger than the truth. Because in every human heart beats the same hunger, the hope that somewhere, beneath sand or sea, lies a fortune waiting for us. A wood creak's footsteps echo on a wet deck, but listen closely, for in the heart of every legend, there is betrayal. A captain slain by his crew. A shipmate slipping poison into another's rum. A brother stealing from his own blood. Piracy was not adventure. It was survival, sharpened to a knife's edge. And when gold entered the picture, survival meant trusting no one. Now, if you're still sailing with us through this dark tale, raise your flag, and hit that subscribe button. Join the crew of Dead Men Tales where legends never truly die. As sea wind calms, a whisper carries across the dark. But before we end, let me leave you with one more mystery. In 1822, divers near Cape Verde pulled coins from a wreck, strange coins black with age. Locals swore they belonged to a pirate horde. Yet every diver who carried one home met with disaster, fires, illness, drowning. Were these curses or just cruel coincidences? Even now, no one dares keep those coins for long. So again we ask, as the waves close around us, did pirates truly get rich from treasure? Or was the legend of treasure cursed and eternal, the only wealth they ever left behind? Heartbeat slows, lantern flickers, fade to black, heat soft drum beat, ocean wind rises like a whisper from another world. So now we return to the question that started all, did pirates ever truly grow rich from treasure? Or was it all a myth? History answers us with silence, and silence is louder than any roar. The truth, most pirates died hungry, sick, or swinging from a noose. Their gold, if they ever held it, slipped through their fingers like water. A single night of drinking, a gamble gone wrong, a mutiny in the dark, and it was gone. And yet, legend survived, stronger than the men who lived them. Take Edward Teach, Blackbeard himself, terrifying, ruthless, unstoppable. When he fell in battle, men searched his ship for treasure. They found almost nothing. No mountain of gold, no chest brimming with silver. The richest pirate of them all left behind only smoke, blood, and a whisper of fear. And that is the cruelest trick of all. The myth of treasure shines brighter than treasure itself. A lantern light flickers, shadows creep along the deck, but what of the few who did stumble upon fortune? They carried it like a curse. Wealth brought betrayal, envy, suspicion. A captain might rise in glory one week and lie stabbed in the back the next. A chest of silver wasn't freedom, it was a death sentence painted gold. Even Anne Bonny and Mary Read, the most famous women of the sea, never held riches. Their legend was bought with blood, not coins. They wore disguises, fought in storms, lived like shadows, and still, when the news came for them, no treasure could buy their escape. Thunder rolls, the sea crashes harder. So why do we still cling to the idea of pirate treasure? Why do we sketch maps, chase wrecks, dig in forbidden sands? Because maybe it isn't about the gold, maybe it never was. The treasure is the story, the adventure. The thrill of believing that somewhere, beneath waves that have swallowed empires, lies a chest that could change everything. Hope is the true currency of piracy, and it's a currency that never runs out. But let me leave you with this. Even today, divers uncover wrecks off the coast of Florida, the Bahamas, Madagascar. They pull up coins, jewels, rusted swords. And for a moment, the world gasps, imagining pirate kings and cursed chests. Then reality sets in. The treasure goes to museums, governments, or vanishes into private hands. And yet people keep searching, because the myth still calls to us. A whisper in the tide, a shadow on the horizon, a promise that maybe the next map, the next wreck, the next dive will be the one. The sea quiets, only a single gull cried the waves. So, did pirates get rich? No, they got something more dangerous. They got remembered. Their bodies rotted, their gold disappeared, but their names echo centuries later. Anne Bonny, Black, Kidd, Lavoisier. The sea keeps their secrets, but the world keeps their stories. And that is the only treasure that never fades. Her music swells, lantern flame dies out completely. Sailor, if you've stayed with us this long, you're part of the crew now. Don't vanish into the waves, drop anchor with us by subscribing to Dead Men Tales. Because out here, on these haunted seas, legends never sleep, and the next story will pull you even deeper. So hoist your courage, tighten the ropes, and remember, the sea never forgets, and neither should you. Ocean fades into silence, a screen goes black.